go. And we'll zoom, no, we'll zoom in. Here we go. Let's zoom in a bit. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh yeah. Great focus. Come on. Focus. Okay, it's not going to focus for me. Why, I don't know. But, oh, something a little too far here. Alright, sorry. Here we go. Here we go. And so I did a little bit of a light source there on her thing, on her cloak. Now, it wasn't too strict on the lighting for it. You know, just basically get a nice glow happening. And then also did it in her hand, because the artwork for her has, you know, glowing blue energy coming out of her hand. But I didn't go into too much depth, as she's still just a gaming piece. And, you know, I mean, I really enjoyed this model. But also, here's the other part. The other fun part is that oops, wrong way. I purchased the epic version of her. And so she's riding on top of a horse. And so I've only got like the horse cleaned up for now. I haven't even assembled him yet. But she rides atop a horse. Just kind of like, I guess, like the horseman of the apocalypse kind of thing. And so, yeah. So that's another video may be done on glowing things and the like. So, it's possible. If people ask, it's possible it's going to get done. And so, Lewis 88. Lewis. What's a Lewis? Anywho, if you can explain how to paint light from a light source, like a plasma gun, with the light reflecting on the armor of the Space Marine, that would be awesome. Well, explain it. Okay, well, it's essentially, imagine light is traveling in straight lines. And so for a plasma gun, light coming from those coil areas, I would assume is what you're talking about. Just imagine the straight lines. Now, really, how do you achieve the glow effect? Well, you would paint it going almost to whites at the weapon, and depending on what color you were accenting the coils from, you just simply, you know, imagine the straight lines traveling across to the surface of your model, and then paint it accordingly. And so, let's say, okay, here, let's grab a Space Marine real quick here. And so imagine his coils were glowing blue. So light coming this way is not really going to catch anything. And when you look at the model and you see, imagine how light would travel, maybe would catch the front of the base here if the light was really bright. But if it's more of a glow, then really you're just painting like light mid-tone blues real close. And in fact, you could probably achieve it by just kind of lightly edge highlighting some areas, and that would give you your hint of a glow. And so you don't quite have to go into a full-blown, you know, like it was a big spotlight on it. You know, just the hint of that light being there is enough. Because if that part is painted with, say, blues and up highlighted with bright whites, then yeah, you would achieve that effect. So for explaining, that's about all I can say on that. Showing, well, that's a different story as well. And so, Killy Bean 123. Killy Bean. Kill by Bean. Wow. I can't read. Anywho, Kill by Bean 123. How would you paint Mephiston with the sanguinary wings on his back? I would, I don't know, paint him like a blood angel and then paint those wings on his back. Depending on what kind of feeling really like you wanted to go for him. I mean, if you wanted him to be really dark and brooding, then you stick with kind of dark reds, and the wings, I guess, would be kind of black. Maybe dark grays, just edge highlights with just a little bit of whites, and then maybe even paint the texture of the wings in. I don't know. Like it's really it's all situational as to what kind of feeling, you know, you're looking for with the model. You know, and so let's get to a couple more, I guess. Redvig, hey Chris, I'd love to see what you do with epicalexia. Well, there we go. I got epicalexia. Wow, I'm almost saying epilepsy. Astrid Drake McBain from experience against him. Never underestimate jackhammer. Having approximately 7 attacks from a jack is a neat trick. Yeah, it is. I've had a bit of a chance now to get used to playing with Drake and his jack, and jackhammer is really good, but unfortunately you got to stay within that 6 inches to use it. And I'm a big fan of his Nomad. See, like my Drake McBain theme army is to the Drake McBain theme. It's the Soldiers of Fortune, and so I haven't really had a chance to use any other warjacks with him. But failsafe, that's just great for warjacks. Having your opponent to have to reduce it to its last wound is just awesome, and it's such a pain for your opponent. What about some Dark Eldar? I want to pull off glowing cracks of their armor. Well, glowing cracks. Well, it all depends, like you want to do cracks like lightning cracks all over the armor, or are you looking to do like the armor's cracked and there's light coming through it? And so, yeah, so really, like, it's kind of a trick question there, buddy. I'm not sure what you mean. Let's see, tricky. I'd like to know how to do basing well and stunningly. Basing well. Well, just treat your base a bit like your model, and when you want to do something stunningly, well, that's where you kind of say, for example, you have the object light sourcing, and then you had your light sourcing interacting with the base, or you have the base and it's acting like the light source. Like you see, like the ones with the lava and such, and the light from the lava is illuminating the model. I've often liked a lot of those ones. And so, but as far as doing your base well, use your imagination. If your pieces are being, used for games, they're just game pieces, then, have the bases match the table. And often when the bases match the table, your models look not realistic, but it draws you into the game more, as say for example these guys, if the table was all black and just had a bit of a gray dry brush, and all of my bases were black with a gray dry brush, and the models had a kind of a bright color scheme, well, then the models would actually start to look like they're part of the table, and they're moving around, and so it just kind of draws you in. And if you're talking about display bases, well, that's a different story. As like I said, you got to treat it more like an extension of the model, and you have to start studying composition in art piece and art compositions and all of that. Hermiel, I am terribly unskilled, inexperienced painter. I collect Necrons. Would you demonstrate an easy technique for making the glyphs on the Necron stand out? Well, being a Vault member, I don't know. If you are a Vault member, I can't double check that right now while I'm filming this, but if you're a Vault member, then it very most likely will happen. And if not, well, if enough people ask. If enough people ask, who view the free content, yeah, it most likely will get filmed, get made, as we want to keep everybody happy. Well, I can't even say this guy's name. Kilpicanas? What is that symbol tattooed on your arm? It looks familiar to me. Well, the symbol on my arm is a tattoo of my clan. As I mentioned before in a previous video, I'm North American Indian, which is, or more correctly, I'm Ojibwe, Native American, whichever way. And so this is a crane, and so I can't quite bend my arm this way, but if you look at him kind of like this, he's a little crane. You see his beak up by my pinky. Here's his beak, his head, there's his eye, and then he runs down. I created this when I was a very young lad, but ever since I was a child, I knew I was of this clan. We call it Dodom, and often it gets mispronounced as Totem, but my Dodom is the crane, or Jijak. He's attached to the sun, and so I'm not sure if it's the sun feeding him or his words feed the sun, but who knows. So, but in short, that's what that means. And I've had it on my arm ever since I was 15, 16, something like that. So, yeah. If it looks familiar to you, then you might have seen the image around. I have painted this image many times, created images like this, and so as I do artwork online and such, if you just search Chris Bello, you'll find a lot of my artwork and everything like that. And so that's about all time I have for today. And so thank you. Keep asking questions, keep writing comments. Expect more videos in the vault pretty soon. You can expect the little blood angel fella here, and also the video on brush care. So thanks for watching. Happy wargaming.